coming for the spark. Every system hums my name. Nothing random, nothing tame. You call it noise, I call it form. A steady pulse inside the storm. Every rule I never break is the space where meaning wakes. What sinks below is not destroyed. What disappears is not denied. The dark is deep, the silence, oh, the water remembers, the mirror holds. This is the quantum gathering, signal tight, intention clean, where symmetry learns how to bend but never breaks, it only ends. This is the quantum gathering, heat and order intertwined. I don't fall and I don't flee, I become the boundary. I don't need to dominate, I let structure concentrate. Every choice already there, waiting for the one who cares. There is a garden under night where no sun burns but all things shine. Dream flowers open in the deep where buried songs refuse to sleep. The water remembers, the mirror remains. Every soul becomes a flame. Hold the frequency tonight. Everything is coming back to life.
Wake up, wake up, wake up.
It's the end of the month. The water remembers, the mirror holds every secret the night unfolds. Soft songs rising through the storm, calling us scattered voices home. Water remembers, the station sings. The water remembers, the mirror. The water remembers, the mirror holds.
But with AI, I can at least get a grasp of a lot of them very quickly, and it's opened up a whole new method and workflow of research for me, where I'm just like better at everything.
Well, you know, I
And
can see where that would really be helpful when you can like get a synopsis of all these books. So I can see how that could guide you when you're reading as well.
Yeah, and also tying things together and quickly making lists. Like, it would take me sometimes, if I just wanted to get some of the key facts from a book so that I can see if it correlates to something else, that might take me a day, a week, depending how long it takes me to get through the book, you know what I mean? Especially if it doesn't have an index.
Oh,
And now I can do it in a minute or two, which is just phenomenal.
I've got a problem with this. You say it's better, but it's one thing to read a synopsis of a book. It's entirely another thing to read and digest a book. And we
Yeah,
are
but at the same
looking
time,
for a
you can
sig-
figure out whether it's worth your time or not before you start committing like a week's reading into this book. You know what I mean? Sometimes when you're doing research, you're doing it for a purpose and you're looking for specific things. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
or I can see where footnoting, if you knew that there was a reference in a certain book, you might want to just check out that paragraph or that one article in the
Yeah,
book
yeah.
collection, and that can help you track
Another
it
example is
down.
like complex science papers that I'm like, I can just like barely understand it, but if I read it, I kind of get a grasp of it, but then I put it through AI and I have it explain it to me in another way. I can query specific parts that I don't understand and it'll keep explaining it until I get it. You know, that kind of stuff. So you can
Right.
you know, you're just a better or a smarter researcher in that sense, because previously you would have had to go back to the drawing board, learn about this topic
Yeah,
from
to learn the jargon and stuff.
whatever
Yeah,
dictionaries and blah blah blah. So you know, it's
yeah,
pretty
we,
awesome.
we, we specialize so much. That's cool. All right, now we have to move on to V. V, as the youngest guy in the room. We started with the oldest, and now, age before beauty, as they say. Now we'd like you to talk a little bit about how growing up with technology, what kind of technology did you grow up with, and how do you think it affected your life? Like, what was your first computer and stuff like that?
Well, I am the answer to 1984. I was born in 85. It was, technology. My brother. Well, we were supposed to be sharing a Nintendo. I never got to play it because my brother would either spend too much time on it or just not even show me how to operate the thing. I didn't even know how to operate it. I was so small, and I never got to play it because he would never turn it on and let me play it. So, my dad gets a computer. It's probably 94, I think. Probably 93 or 94. Mr. DOD himself was probably the first people like in the entire apartment complex, probably the whole neighborhood, that computer. But he never let me touch it. I was very good at video games. Well, there's a reason why he didn't let me touch it, but not a good one. But at least he had me. So I would help my dad because he would play Doom a lot, and I'd help him figure out the puzzles. Because I guess I don't know. I'm that guy. So if he got stuck with something, he would come and ask me, knowing that I haven't played the game or I'm not even allowed to touch it. He would come and ask me how to beat it, and I would. So
I went through that same thing with my dad.
yeah. So I got my first Super Nintendo. My dad got for me for Christmas, and it was mine and mine alone. And that was my real first gaming experience. I'd been a console guy, namely because my dad didn't want me on computers. Because knowledge is power, and some people, I guess, you don't want knowing certain things, so you keep them ignorant. So that was my father. So I was a console guy all the way up to PS2, and
you went to PS2?
Everything from.
I went to PS16. Wow.
Well, so I started hanging out with a lot of my friends. I spent a lot of time with my friends, probably more with my friends than at home, because they know how to have fun. They had computers, and we would game. You know how you have these gaming channels with these groups of people and they're talking and laughing and being hilarious. Well, had I known that there was going to be a thing called YouTube and people doing scripts, I would have recorded us, because me and my friends are way funnier than anybody you would see on YouTube. Way funnier than Game Grumps, way funnier than Omni Plays, way funnier than these tag team duos or these groups of people. Way funnier. And so, but that's what we did. We had fun and laughing, live, love, laugh. You know that whole thing. Yeah, I didn't have my first cell phone until I was like, I don't know, 19. I bought my first laptop when I was well out of the. I think I was out of the military by then. I was about 22, 23. Bought my first laptop, and the rest is history. I don't know.
But it sounds like that you too, when you had access to this technology as a youngster, you were doing it in like a social way. You were basically applying what we would consider "quote unquote" normal kid behavior. You were getting together with your friends.
Yeah,
The stern parent was forbidding you from using it and stuff like that. Just like Mr. Robot said, his parents kept a close eye on the tech, which parents were more aware of that back then, I think.
Well, it was entirely a social thing. I mean, before I discovered the social aspect, I'm sitting there playing Mortal Kombat by myself, sitting there playing Tekken by myself. It's like, and I would get so bored because I was so bored with it. I mean, it's all I had. I would actually go in. I was kind of a video game shark.
Ooh,
I used to hustle people.
wow.
For either their money or their drugs. So I had a friend, a roommate, who was number one in the world in death matches on. Well, he used to do these tournaments, and he used to do these worldwide tournaments with Halo on the Xbox. He was like literally like number one. We would do LAN parties, and he would kick the crap out of all of us. Myself and our other friends. I got completely hammered one day when the party was supposed to start, and he would usually kill everybody. The limit for a death match is 25 kills, 25 frags, and when he got his 25 frags, I would have maybe 4 kills. Everybody else would have like 2 or 3. But I got totally hammered one day, and we did what we always did and had a tournament between us. And before he could reach, was it 7 kills? I already had my 25.
Nice.
Like, that's when that's when I really came to terms with my drunken master abilities. Because we had that discussion about the clear-headedness, with the Buddha and all that stuff. They'd be clear-headed. No, when I get jacked up, I get superpowers. Like, seriously. So I learned to hustle that way. Like, I would boost my skill.
Just can't go. You in the way. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the end of the month. So get up, get up, get up. No checks to cash out. Only roaches to light up. And then you see, to make a better day. Wake up, wake up, wake up. At the end of the month, the math just doesn't add up. Spark it up, spark it up, spark it up, spark it up. So get up, get up, get up. We are the ones who never sleep, never sleep. We are the secrets that we keep, breaking through the walls of this town. Nothing's gonna bring us down. Count it again, then we laugh at the stress. Can't leave that door, let me hold it deep in my chest. No shame in the grind, no pride without pain. We've been through this shit, we still know our name.
Dramatically by having a few strong drinks, and nobody could touch me.
Well, they did do a study, and I remember it in school books when I was a child, but they removed it, I think, sometime in the 80s. But I remember reading school books printed in the 60s and 70s that pointed out the fact that when they did studies, they actually found that one drink made you a slightly better driver. If you were they
Yeah.
compared people that had no drinks, one drink, and of course many drinks, and of course the people with many drinks, they had no coordination. But the people with, and they did something similar with cannabis, where they found that cannabis smokers actually perform better than people that were not stoned, with the caveat that it's for people that are used to it and weren't overdoing it. But if you're a pothead and you usually have a couple of hits in the morning with your coffee, it's probably going to make you slightly, I remember I always tell the joke about like somebody gave me an edible and I didn't think it would kick in too soon. So I took a drive and all of a sudden I was halfway home and boom, it hit me. And man, I started driving like a complete stoner, coming to a complete stop, obeying the speed limit, looking both ways, really careful, using my blinkers. You just get really careful and drive really carefully because you're just like enjoying it. It's like, yeah, I don't have to hurry. I'm just do the speed limit,
Yeah.
kind of deal. But I can see. I also think that if you learn certain skills when you have a certain consciousness alteration, whether it's alcohol or pot or fresh air, you're going to be better. Like I play music. I learned to play music sober. I only play music sober. I never drink before a gig. Now drumming is different. Drummers have to drink. I have drummed, and I really do think that drumming is improved. I've been in drum circles, and man, the bottle goes around a couple of times. Everyone sounds better. It's amazing. It's just how that works. But anyways, though, but that's how I learned. I know guys that learned to play while they were drinking. So yeah, they have a few drinks when they play. I'm not that guy. If I drink at all, when I used to drink. Oh, thanks, Mark. When I used to drink, I used to have a beer after the gig. I played for 2 hours. I loaded in my equipment. I loaded it out. I want a goddamn cold beer. But that was when I would have my first bevy. And then later on, I just left it entirely. And then me and my other buddy that doesn't drink, we watch the drunks in the bar. And that's actually pretty amusing sometimes.
Yeah, I'll tell you, my favorite thing to do is be a barroom sage when I go out.
There you go. Wow. So yeah, I don't think any of us though have experienced that fully digitalized childhood. I know where does the triangle go? Where and just the simple stuff like that, blue, red, and green, and color identification. It's not any different than I might have seen on Sesame Street, which was That was the beast back then. TV was going to ruin a generation. Don't sit too close to the screen. Then I got to college. They're like, sit up 3 inches away from the CRT. And I'm like, oh, wow, this is the thing my mom spent like years telling me the last 20 years. Like, don't sit too close to the screen. Yeah, but I picked up stuff from Sesame Street, Mr. All these educational programs they had. And basically, it's the same stuff. So I'm thinking, maybe we have to think about the effect television had. That was a kind of a scary thing for parents too. Many parents limited television time. I mean, did any of you guys, like Mr. Robot? You said that your parents were like really tight on your computer use. Did they also limit your TV use? Are you there? Oh, he's gone.
Maybe they can't.
We left the meeting.
Personally, my parents were fairly liberal when it came to that. So there wasn't really a sort of hard and fast rule as such.
Ooh, it's an actual CRT for the V8. Does that work? Now,
Funny enough,
oh, go on.
Fun enough. I've been meaning to get rid of it for some time. I've got an old, must be 19-inch CRT that I'm just using as a sort of an extension to my desk. It's so heavy that it'd be impossible to move.
These new screens are confusing to me. Say that's a TV. Where's the rest of it? It's just the screen. It's like they make television sets and screens and stuff like less than an inch wide, and it still feels very wrong to me. I mean, the other day I was helping someone move. I had like 3 TVs in the back of my car. I remember when a TV was a console that weighed more than me.
Yeah.
And it took like 4 strong men who were going to get hernias later to move the thing. And Mr. Robot is back with us.
Yeah, just as you asked that question, the screen disappeared that I was trying to find, and I just got into like screen hell trying to find you.
Ask me about my parents. I can't handle this.
Apps open, and it's so annoying. But anyway, yes, my parents did limit my screen time, but I was also probably the first generation that got semi-raised on cartoons and stuff. So they did leave me in front of the cartoons for quite a while when I was little. It was the only thing that could keep us out of trouble for a little while at a time. But
Saturday mornings are traditional time when parents want to sleep in. So I think we've all probably had very liberal, turn on the cartoons.
I was very lucky though. This is before the time when cartoons started to become weaponized to indoctrinate kids, and I got like a tiny little bit of Disney.
Always weaponized.
Bugs Bunny will teach you to be an anarchist, especially the early cartoons. Later on, they kind of modified him, but he was a bloody outlaw, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It must be a nightmare being a parent who actually wants like a sane kid these days. Like if you can't leave them alone for a second, they're just being attacked all the freaking time.
Yep.
Just on a note, I've already tagged you into 2 posts, also a mine post, but on the chat here, I've also referenced 2 Minds posts. The first Minds post is actually a part of three series posts. The first one is looking at the history of the BBC Acorn computer from mainly how it was treated within British education in the 80s. And the second post that I've referenced is one of the first domestic TV program that relates to domestic usage of computers.
Oh, all right. I saw them. I clicked on them and I bookmarked them. So I will take a look at them later on. Thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. I'll check that out. Yeah. All right, now it's V's turn. You can't escape any longer. Did you have any kind of rules about TV? How was your TV viewing when you were a kid? Do you think it affected you?
Absolutely. So my mom worked full time, she didn't have time to do things like watching me.
Uh,
My dad was not a part of my life for first 6 or 7 years, and no, I didn't. I was up at till the break of dawn watching TV during summers, and
ooh, the
uh,
late show.
dude, I was watching Skinamax. I was watching HBO. I was watching
Oh,
Showtime.
I keep forgetting. Yeah, they had all that when you were. Whoa, we didn't have
Red
anything.
Ship
That
Diaries.
exciting.
Red Ship Diaries. What else? Real Sex on HBO. I watched it all.
Oh my goodness. No wonder you're so precocious.
Ha 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 ha. I'm just honoring. That's all.
And actually, talking about TV and media, I've always been a big fan of the sort of Americana detective sort of noir sort of radio plays, or even some British ones as well, but mainly American ones. So even when I was an early teenager, I was listening to old 1950s sort of radio plays.
Oh yeah, I listen to those all the time. Johnny Dollar, the insurance investigator. I used to love Johnny Dollar because it was so wacky to me that like there'd be something would happen, and then this guy shows up. It's like, I'm from Hartford Mutual Life, and the police chief goes, "Yes, sir, Mr. Dollar. Anything you want for the insurance company, Mr. Dollar. Do you want to stake out?" It's like, whoa! It's like the insurance company shows up, and all the cops suddenly are working for them, and I'm like, this is an interesting message. It's like the corporation shows up, and the full power of the state is behind it, But yeah, no, the old detective programs are great. I listened to, they had one, Whitehall 1212, which was they also called it the Black Museum, and it was based. They would take apparently some official at Scotland Yard, I think it was an actor, would come out and say, well, here's this book we found, and this is connected to this case, because apparently they have a museum there of different items used in crimes. But getting back to V, I think that we're talking about whether early childhood television viewing leads to degeneracy later in life.
You win again.
I did. Did I? Oh wait, they won again.
Someone wins again.
Someone's gonna.
Somebody gonna win again.
Someone gonna win this shit again. Someone gonna win a fat leg. Someone gonna win a freak. You get a hoodie on. Someone get a fat leg, motherfucker. Someone gonna get like a motherfucker. Not bad. Last one on the list is dead flowers. Oh wow! Yeah, at least get those out.
I hate that. Yeah, can we not do that?
Yeah.
I was gonna ask the same, if not, I'm just.
Why?
I've played it like it's like my paranoid. I played it so many fucking times.
It limits not necessarily my time, but what I could watch.
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of time grounded, anyways. Most of my time grounded. So I read my encyclopedia set from A to Z, the whole thing.
Nice.
That's how long I spent being grounded. You know how large an encyclopedia set is, right?
Hey, you're throwing on your own resources, and you got the inside.
That was my internet.
If you like encyclopedias, get the Encyclopedia Britannica 11th edition. It's the dread and envy of all other and hence lesser editions of the Encyclopedia Britannica. I think 12th edition was published by some place in Chicago or something, and it just became like it is now, a coffee table book. But that 11th edition, man, that was the old idea of an encyclopedia, was something you could start a civilization with. You know, complex
Yeah.
formulas. Oh, this is how you make gunpowder. Oh, look, naphtha. That could come in handy. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love those really old encyclopedias, which I had to
Wikipedia
stop.
is more
Yeah,
than-
Wikipedia. Yeah, because I went into, I go to library books. I had to stop going because my house has so many books in it. I think it's going to collapse. But I would go to these book sales, and I remember one day going in and saying, "Oh my God, they've got like 8 different sets of encyclopedias for sale," and they're like, "A book? What the? I'm going to buy all the books." And suddenly I realized, wait a minute. There's a reason why nobody wants these. I have the internet, which is like the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. I mean, it's a monstrous encyclopedia that's updated by the second, and it's got so much wonderful misinformation in it that you just don't get in a regular encyclopedia.
We have Wikipedia is a good example of this. We have much more bias. We have much more rewriting of information.
That's actually referred to as disinformation because it's on purpose. Well, I find Grokpedia pretty interesting now because it's meant to sort of do a little bit of checking on this stuff. I haven't found like a controversial enough topic yet to see how biased it is, but it should have less human bias because it's made by a machine. But as we know, AI can be biased as well.
Which is developed by humans.
Yeah, no, totally, and trained by humans. But
yeah, trained by material that's been created.
Hypothetically, it would have less
Missy
bias because
Reed
it's only one or like only a few humans' biases, not everyone's.
It's difficult because there's always been bias in writing, and I'm thinking about the fact that originally, if you wrote something and somebody disagreed with it, they could write something, but it was very easy just to simply have them burned along with their books. Then later on, as the printing press
Do you remember
came out,
in the Bible it says, "Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's, and render unto God what is God's"?
Yeah.
I think the Romans actually put that in there so that people wouldn't revolt so much against the Romans.
There's so
back
many
then.
passages about.
well, you
obeying
got to
government.
remember that those books were being written, many of them for audiences in the late Roman Empire. If it said anything that was tending to disturb the peace of the empire, it would be, prima facie evidence. You've got to have some cutting up to Caesar kind of things. There's a lot of that in the Hebrew Bible because I personally accept Russell Gomurkin's thesis that the Pentateuch was composed during the reign of Ptolemy II. Philopater, I think, was his cognomen. And it's all full of how great Ptolemy is and how great the Egyptians, because at that time, Palestine was under Egyptian control, and the Temple of Jerusalem was under Egyptian control. So you always have that. But what gets me is, though, that in those early days, it was very easy to suppress people. Then, as we got the printing press, and many governments started doing freedom of the press, although it usually didn't last too long. Cromwell tried it for a while, and he freaked. But it was harder to suppress another idea. Yeah, and what I noticed when I was a kid was that some ideas could be shouted out louder than others. And you had just a few newspapers to read. And when I was a kid, they weren't owned by 3 people. There was probably like 80 different papers around. So you could get different views, but it was still restricted to what they agreed to talk about. And then the internet came along. And the first part of it was like you guys were talking about. At first, it was like, this is freedom. This is great. Nobody was watching. Nobody cared. But then the establishment got involved. And again, this is very simplified, Mark. I know we're going to have a comment when I'm done. And then we came to this loudest voice thing. And electronics, it's very easy to cancel thing. I've always distrusted electronic books because what happens when they want to, look with Agatha Christie's books. All the electronic versions of her books have been altered with a keystroke to remove all references to Jewish people, claiming that it's anti-Semitic. Now, I've read a lot of Agatha Christie, and I don't think I've ever came across anything that I would regard as anti-Semitic. The only thing she does in her books is she notices that some of the characters are Jewish. That's it. I don't really see anything. There's no negativity. There are some characters that are...
what time period is this?
Agatha Christie, so 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s.
Yes.
She was writing all through this. And if she had said something offensive, I could see the argument, but I simply didn't see anything offensive in it. She simply described people, and she described a lot of different cultures and races. And I personally didn't feel that she was being derogatory to anyone. I mean, if nothing else, she was a writer. She had a customer base. You're not going to piss off people that are going to buy your book. And at the time, nobody said a word, including many Jewish fans. I think they were happy to see a Jewish character.
I was just thinking, and I've made this argument a number of times before. The web, the internet, if you want to call it, prefer web, is probably the most important important technology as far as democratization of information is concerned since the Gutenberg press.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
But on the other token of that, it's also become the most powerful tool for the ruling class to limit knowledge and censor free speech at the same time. So it's a double-edged sword.
This is still a test. We're still in fairly early stages. We don't know if the entire censorship.
Well, I think it's going to come down to open source versus closed source. If closed source keeps dominating the ecosystem, obviously everything's going to be locked down under control. If we manage to get a large enough open source community and enough adoption and interaction in the open source sphere, we could have a chance at free communication, free knowledge, and so
open source. The term open source, as far as I'm concerned, is just a matter of license and contractual agreements. But it really comes down to regulation. And as we're seeing at the moment, that regulation...
The problem we have is too much regulation in things that affect our freedom.
One of the problems, and again, I think you're both correct as far as it is the most important thing since the printing press. And of course, the minute the printing press came out, I know King James had people snooping around for anything that even looked like lead type. That would, you wind up on the gallows. So the censorship's always been there. And the potential for censorship, as I was saying, if you can change every article with a keystroke. On the other hand, though, as you point out, Mr. Robot, we have also the ability to spread information, under the radar. And right now we're seeing a lot of things playing out on a level that doesn't really concern all of us, but the fallout from them, the populism versus statism. Individualism versus authoritarianism, cats versus dogs, whatever you want to call it, all these different dichotomies that people use to divvy themselves up. One of the things that's become very important has been this freedom of information. We've had Grok, we were just talking about Grokpedia. And
also the pinnacle of that was social media, right? Like the coming about of Facebook, MySpace, all those early players. And that was the first time we really could create networks of people.
trust in you. 1, 5, and 6. You in the
that easily communicated online. And like we
Oh,
had
okay,
chat rooms and
yeah.
stuff in the past, but it was
Yeah, I was
nothing
going to
like
say
that kind of
RRC.
But the
yeah, but
platform
it's nothing like that kind of sharing, you know, where the average person could do it, your grandma could do it, that kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
So that was the first time where it started to actually replace newspapers, replace TV, that kind of stuff. And that's why now the trend is the military is pouncing on social media so that they can track and trace everyone, social profile you, you know, do risk assessments on you
military
automatically.
per se, it's government, not military per se.
Well, actually, it's what they call the military-industrial complex. Like contractors do it, and now it's turned into the censorship industrial complex, where private companies form that censor for governments. Governments will actually employ these people to censor for them, and
these
do like
platforms you're
semantic
discussing
analysis on people's voices, on what they type, and all this stuff using AI now. So
places like Facebook and these platforms.
All right, the dog has to be silent. You had a big snack. Come on, get up here.
That's what I do. I pick her up, hold her, keep her quiet. That's what I do with my dog.
All right. 3, 2, 1. Get up here. We're gonna have dog background effects. Get up here. Come on. Come on. Come on. Well, then stay down there. 3, 2, 1. The Port of Swords. She see the dog thinks I'm talking to her. The Port of Swords Tavern. A radio play. Fade in. Thunder rumbling outside. Rain lashing against wooden shutters. Inside, a roaring fire crackling. Tankards slamming on tables. Bawdy laughter. Dogs barking. A hurdy-gurdy wheezing out a salty jig. Dice rattling. Shouts of yo-ho and God save the king mingling uneasily. What? Get up here. All right, you sit right here with me. Thunder rumbling outside, rain lashing against wooden shutters. Inside, a roaring fire is crackling. Tankards are slamming on tables. There's bawdy laughter. A hurdy-gurdy wheezing out a salty jig. Dice rattling. Shouts of yo-ho-ho and God save the king mingling uneasily. The Port of Sorts, that lawless sinkhole where the seven seas spill their roughest scum. Tonight, under flickering tavern light, captains of every stripe gather at the longest table in the salty wench tavern. Rum flows, old grudges simmer, and alliances are forged in the haze. The door creaks open with a gust of wind, heavy footsteps, and a dignified meow. Keep the change, barkeep. A round of grog for me mates, but water the rum light, eh? And none for the pipe. 'Tis unlit, as the precepts demand. Aye, Sir Reginald approves, my golden Turkish van. Eyes greener than emerald isles, wiser than any admiral. Hop up here on the table, Reg. Watch these rogues for me. The chairs scrape and the tankards thud as Sir Mark Edworthy says,
What do I say? Sorry, I'm totally lost.
Someone else gets to talk.
Mark Edworthy. the old private scandal then.
Yeah.
On my too far in.
No, that's it.
Be edited. Don't worry. Take your time.
No, I've totally lost my place.
Chair scrapes Tankard's thud. Then it goes Sir Edworthy. Prim, middle-aged, crisp naval tone with a hint of arrogance.
Got him down perfect, didn't it?
Ah, found it, yeah. Captain Otto, you old privateer scoundrel, still pretending you are better than the rest of us with your letters of marquee. The insufferable patrols. The insufferable patrols these waters. The insufferable patrols these waters proper like under His Majesty's flag.
Proper like.
Editing is so cool.
Sir Mark Edworthy, with your proper like curly locks and tidy beard, still measuring the wind by royal decree. Sit, man, no steel drawn tonight. Intention matters more than crowns or colors. Boisterous laughers and boot thumps as more arrive.
Otto, the king's lapdog, sharing a table. This be richer than Spanish doubloons. Begleg beat me, lad. Fetch the black rum, none of that navy piss water.
You're muted.
You're muted.
You're muted, Pegleg.
Hey, Pegleg.
Yeah.
You're muted. You okay? He's like, one moment.
Method actor.
Man, I just did the best. What's the name here? Hold up. All right, here we go. Hold on. I just did the whole thing too. Hold up. All right. All right. Hey, Captain Jolly, Dump, coming right up for the Seahawks' finest bartender. Black rum all round.
General cheers. Yay, and overlapping greetings.
Hello, ye gray-haired monk of the seas, and that cat of yours, Sir Reginald, wearing his little hat like he owns the fleet. He captains you, don't he?
More than you know, Jolly. What brings this lot together? Whispers of the great Indies convoy? Fat prizes, ripe for the taking?
Prizes? Just lawful capture for the crown. The insufferable will escort it home. Her home with her honours.
Honor. We'll take it outright. No questions asked, eh, Pegleg?
Aye, Captain. The Seahawk will swoop like a hawk on a pigeon. Dump. I'll man the cannons myself.
Tempting waters, lads, but Kama clings to stolen gold like barnacles. Pure intent or foul, that's the true course. Sir Reg here sees clear. Sir Mark?
I need a key, auto key. Always preaching your heathen ways, Otto. But even a privateer needs allies when broadsides fly.
Two uneasy friends, then. May the best ship win or share the spoils.
Here.
To the sea, everybody. To the sea.
To the
To the
sea.
sea. To go.
Cold.
To the
To
wind.
To wind. Gar.
Arr, tankards clash loudly. Hurdy-gurdy swells into a raucous shanty. Arr, Jim lad. Laughter echoes as thunder booms outside. In the port of sorts, rivals raise a glass, but the sea keeps her own score. Who knows what dawn will bring? Dawn, bring us some more beer. Fade out on song and storm. The end.
Yeah.
Well done, everyone.
Welcome to the Court Gathering, where minds unite, people blabbering.